Okay. These people do these most disgusting things. They make me feel very uncomfortable with a lot of things, because they turn those things into pedophilia centric manipulations. But it's just almost nonsensical. It's just random things they try to do, right? Um, Listen, they try to make me think of other things just before they're going to change into pedophilia things. But I'm not perfect. I do think about women in a sexual way. But what they've done is to try to change things, or not to try, but actually change things and turn into pedophilia centric and using certain things and manipulate them in different ways. It's just random things. For example, they do these things with and I've talked about it many times, right? With my tongue. That makes me feel uncomfortable, right? They make me move it, like while my mouth is closed, make me move it, like press it against my teeth, press it against the top of my mouth, do some movement, and it's disgusting, right? And they do that when they make me think of children. Trust to stop like manipulating my tongue. It's just so nasty. But then they're like, yeah, but you have thoughts of sexual thoughts in certain ways toward women, right? And I don't want to be graphic. I was like, of course, like any straight man, and of course somebody who's sexually active, I've thought of women in many sexual ways. But what they're doing is try to create thoughts of the sexual way toward children. For example, they do this thing, and they're so disgusting. And this is how they manipulate you and manipulate your thoughts. They're going about this random. They sometimes they think they try to make you feel uncomfortable about just silly and just kind of illogical and just childlike, and just it's not like breaking in the sense that it's not disturbing in that way, but it's also annoying, right? I'll compare that more annoyance than disturbing. And they was making mention of bad breath, right? And as they were making me think of that, they started kind of moving my tongue in a way like I was trying to smell or taste my own breath, but bad breath, right? And they made this move with my tongue, which I didn't care because they were trying to make me think of my bad breath or bad breath or whatever. And then immediately, they made me think of a child, a little girl who was in, like, there was an ad for St. Jude, and you obviously know St. Jude is about children with cancers. And there was this ad where this little black girl with going through chemo. They made me imagine her as soon as they start moving my tongue, and then try to connect these things together, right? And turn that into something sexual. I don't need to be graphic, and then start making noise campaign and try to make me subscribe to these things. It's just nasty. Now, you got to understand, these people have been doing these ways of breaking people down using pedophilia type of tormenting. It's just so nasty. And they're like, oh, we proved it. Obviously, I know they're contracted to break people down, and they are contracted by the government. And this program is a program where they're experimenting on people and manipulating them and pushing them to a point of no return. And so my job now is, first of all, this purpose, even though they're contracted to do this, to play this role, to be gimmicky, they call it being at war because they do these things, and to block out the nastiness of what they do, to block out the reality of what they're part of, they try to find ways to tell themselves something that is far from the truth, in the sense that, oh, we're at war. They're not at war. Obviously, there's nothing warlike. Their job is to break me down, which doesn't take much at this point. This technology is so sophisticated that really it just consists of non-stop manipulation, which is done remotely. But, like I said, these tactics are not new to me. You hear many people talking about they manipulate people in these disturbing ways, including pedophilia-centric ways. And for me, they have just kind of rewired me to feel so disturbed about everything. Even there was times when I was eating like ice cream or yogurt or something that tastes good, and then would make me think of a child, and then try to turn that into something sexual. Now they like to do something in my mouth. Either they dry my mouth or my tongue. Do these disturbing things or move my tongue against the top of the palate, the top of my mouth. Do certain things to disgust me all the time. There's one time, one of the nastiest things they've done is one of the most disturbing things, and I remember that because it was so disgusting. They made me have a sexual dream where they started making me imagine having like oral sex, me giving oral sex. And then, of course, they changed into something pedophilia-centric, so you can only imagine. They do these things. That my mouth, my tongue has turned into a tool for them to make me feel uncomfortable. Even when I speak, and I use my tongue to say things, and I press my tongue against my teeth. When I do something, they turn into something pedophilia-centric. Now, I know it doesn't sound logical, but they really try to make you feel uncomfortable in every sense. And because, of course, I'm a sexual being and I have thoughts of sex with women, but they're flipping these things into pedophilia-centric. And it's become so disgusting, so disturbing. And they're like, oh, but you have thoughts about sometimes you have like some sexual thoughts of with, I don't want to be graphic. It's like, of course I have, many times. Toward women, yes, a lot of times. I'm like every other straight man. A lot of times I've thought of women in a sexual ways. Thought of sexual moments with women. Many times. But what you're doing is, one, you force me to have these weird reactions and then make me think of children. If you would have done that and make me think of a woman, it's like, oh, yeah, I've definitely thought of these sexual moments with women, of course. But they then do these things with children. And it's disgusting. And that's how they do these things and make you want you to subscribe to these things. And then try to make me think again about women and change it again with kids and then going back into this. It's just nonstop. They have manipulation of your everything. They manipulate my body, my tongue, my everything. And it's disgusting how they do these things where they force you to react in these disturbing ways. But you gotta understand, these people have been utilizing pedophilia type of tormenting for a long time. You see the last video I was talking about how, they were saying in the 50s they were already doing things with manipulation of your memories and doing these things, and it was disgusting. And all that started from the MK Ultra, and the CIA were utilizing some disturbing ways, and there was horrible things happening because the way they were manipulating people. And there's always a pattern of pedophilia. And then you find out that these same people who've been working in programs that manipulate the mind, the thoughts, the body, are filled with pedophiles. These same agencies contracting this trash around me are filled with pedophiles. And these subcontracted individuals that live around me, that are paid by these entities one way or another, even if it's not direct, are just the bottom feeder for these pedophiles. And they're here day in and day out to try to make you accept these disturbing manipulations. To manipulate you to have thoughts of this disgusting pedophilia ways when you move your tongue in certain ways and then put kids in your head. And then make noise campaign to try to make you feel guilty. That's their job. That's their life right now. And I'm hearing right now as I'm speaking about it, I can hear the neighbors which are contracted by these entities to do their job of gaslighting, making this target individual, this subject, subscribe to the manipulations. It's disgusting. And my brain goes into whatever manipulation is. That's what they do. They try to disorient you into acceptance. This is what these bottom feeders have done. They sold their soul to pedophiles. They know this. There's a true patterns of pedophilia in this entity, and they've been doing it for years, decades. And there's no way to escape reality. And now when I'm eating, and the thing is, because I'm aware they do things with my tongue, they try to catch me off guard, right? And so when I'm focusing on something, they start like doing something, and then whoa, change it. It's just change your mind and make you think immediately, quickly, with speed of thoughts, I guess, and make you think of a child. So they then connect this thing that just happening in your mouth to children and get you to be feel disturbed. And it's like, oh yeah, no, you like children. Disgusting things. Even me talking right now, saying disgusting thing and pressing my tongue against the roof of my mouth is turning something else. It's disgusting. But that's what they do. To all my target individuals, understand these bottom feeders sold their soul to pedophiles. Do not subscribe to this nastiness, to these foul pedophilia things they do. They're trash. This technology obviously has empowered this slow life to feel special, but they have to sold their soul. They have to lie to themselves to be at war. They have to tell themselves that they're at war, that they're protecting the community, when it's obvious that you don't need to be an analyst. It doesn't take a genius to realize that, yes, they have been using these tactics for a long time, a long, long time. And all along, it's been a way to control people's thoughts, body, and push them to do disturbing things, push them to kill themselves, push them to lose their mind, just disgusting things. And now, in 2023, this has gone to another level of sophistication. But I have the perps around me who are supposed to make me accept these things. Oh no, these are our money. We're different. We're researchers. Of course, I know this is not true. They are contracted to do what they're supposed to be doing, which is me, the subject, being tormented with these disturbing things. They've been doing it to others, and make me accept and subscribe to these manipulations, which are obviously them manipulating me to think this way. So to all my target individuals, stay strong and know that justice will be done for what they're doing. This is not something they do for free. For me, I know that's going to happen, where it's going to be reimbursed for what they're doing to me, but it's not them that I'm truly worried about. It's about the people who put me in this program. Because these people, this trash, after me, they'll do it to somebody else. And some of them have already done it to other people. Some of them have more experience than others. Some of them are new to this. But there's a lot of people very much involved in this program who've done it to many others and will continue to do so. So I expect nothing but they're going to be reimbursed and nobody's. But the people I'm worried about not like living the life and enjoying their life right now while this is happening to me is the people who put me in this program. Those are the people I'm like, they're just living their life, not having to humiliate themselves and lie and tell themselves that they're at war. Probably watching that, laughing at it, it's like, yeah, they're at war, yeah. Top warriors, yeah. Just enjoying, it's like, look, you see, that's what happened when you mess with me. You have this trash that are going to manipulate you and force you to accept these things. That obviously they do. Obviously, there's a pattern of what they do to you, to others. But because you are isolated, you are manipulated, you are gaslighted, you're going to subscribe to these things. You're going to be tormented to those things, even though it's obviously a manipulation. So to all my target individuals,